So firstly, Happy New Year and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to 2023. Today's video, I'm going to be going over my first shoot back in 2023, and to kick off the new year, to start it off right, I'm also going to be doing a little bit of a giveaway. So if you are interested in that giveaway, then stick around to the end of the video. As cliche as it sounds, 2023 really has come around incredibly quickly. You know, for me, 2022 was professionally a dream year. It was probably my favourite year that I've had yet as a freelance photographer, as someone who is, you know, creating this content on YouTube, on Skillshare, on TikTok. Just generally, professionally, this has been a really amazing year for me, or last year was a really amazing year for me, and hopefully 2023 will be as well. You know, I was lucky enough to travel to some amazing cities, some of which I documented on this channel. I was able to meet a lot of really brilliant people and to work with clients that, you know, previously I would have only dreamt of working with. So to say that I am excited for 2023 is definitely an understatement. I'm really looking forward to seeing what 2023 brings professionally, personally, creatively. And to kick off the new year, I headed to the streets of London with model Ryan, who you might recognise because I have worked with Ryan a couple of times over the last year or so. Ryan is definitely one of my favourite collaborators. You know, that's due to his confidence in his posing. He's a really strong, confident model. But also in his knowledge and his sense of styling. It makes it very easy to kind of elevate any shoot with his choice of outfit. So throughout this first shoot of 2023, I shot a mixture of both film and digital as per usual. Digital mostly just to warm up, but also to meter the scene, you know. I find this to be the easiest way, the quickest way to meter a scene. Using my digital camera when I don't have a dedicated light meter. So in terms of my equipment, when it came to film photography, I was shooting with the Mamiya RZ67 Pro 2 and the 110 2.8 lens, as well as the 50mm 4.5 lens. So before we started the shoot, I had picked out 3 backdrops which we would use throughout the shoot. They were all walking distance from each other. And I like to kind of pick out the locations beforehand because it gives you a good idea of colours, it gives you a good idea of kind of what styling choices are going to match those locations. So communicating my idea of location and the colours that we're going to be using to Ryan would be able to help him make decisions when it came to styling and kind of create a more cohesive shoot. If you are interested in how I kind of like plan my shoots, especially stuff when it comes to fashion, I do have like an entire Skillshare class available that I can link in the description. So we ended up with 3 outfits and 3 locations to correspond. Location 1 was a really traditional building, kind of reminiscent of like an older London. I always adore finding buildings and locations that kind of give a nod to past version of London. So when I saw this building, I knew I wanted to shoot with it. So for this location, Ryan wore a double denim look, and I mostly focused on a mixture of close-up portraits, which is something I would say is very much within my comfort zone. And so it felt natural to kind of start off with those portraits. And then a couple more environmental portraits, still all using the 110 lens that would showcase the location a little bit more. I also did experiment with motion for a couple of these, but I didn't have a tripod and my hands were not as still as usual, so I did get a bit too much camera shake in these for them to really be, you know, great. When I shoot this kind of motion stuff, I usually shoot at around 1/8, and so obviously having a tripod does make that a lot easier, but in the past I have been able to kind of keep my hands still enough that I can get the photo without things other than the subject being blurry. Unfortunately, in this case, that did not happen. So for this location, I shot with Kodak Gold 200. If you've been following me or this channel for a little while, then you probably know that I love the colours of this film stock. I find it to be kind of the perfect film stock to be using when you're shooting on location, especially when you have lots of light. January, you don't always have lots of light, but we were blessed on this day. It was quite a bright day, so 200 speed was no problem. So next up, location 2. Location 2 was situated within Old Spitalfields Market, and it's the flower display of a restaurant, a bar that is within the market. I've passed this so many times. I always stop and take a photo, even if it's just on my phone, and I have wanted to shoot here for so long. So when I was thinking about locations and what was near, I knew that I wanted to include this. I loved the pops of colour from the flowers, and the location went perfectly with Ryan's choice of more muted colours within his outfit. For these shots, I used Fujifilm's Pro 400H, mostly because it was the only colour film that I had that had a higher ISO than 200, because the rest of all the colour film I had was Kodak Gold. And it was considerably darker in this location, and I couldn't use a 200 speed because the lab that I'm using in London for this video, which is called Eye Culture, they don't push film as far as I know. I'm not always a personal fan of the colours of Pro 400H. And in this shoot, I felt the same way. After receiving my scans back, I did do some pretty heavy colour and tone work to get the photos to a point where I actually liked them. Probably would have preferred the colours of Kodak Gold or Lomography's colour negative 400 or 800 or Kodak Portra 400 or 800 in this location, but since I didn't have any, I thought, you know, going with a high speed film, and that being Fuji Pro 400H, was the best bet. So for our final location, we headed back outdoors, and I swapped the Fuji Pro 400 back for some Kodak Gold 200. So this was the first location that I ended up shooting with the 50mm lens. Everything else before this was all shot with the 110 2.8. And the reason I chose to do it here was because I really wanted to hone in on those wider, more environmental portraits that help to encapsulate the location. The location for this set was probably one of my favourites. It was like the deteriorated paint shop front, and again, that really rang true to an idea of like an old London, but also provided quite a nice colour palette with this like muted blue that went well and complemented Ryan's all black outfit. The shots that we took at this location are probably my favourite throughout the whole shoot. So we did get a nice selection of both environmental portraits and close-up shots in this location. So it's probably the most well-rounded set of the three as well. But let me know what you think of photos. Which set do you prefer? For me, definitely the final set, but I do love a couple of photos in each of the set. It was great to be back out and shooting so early on in 2023, and I'm looking forward to all the shoots that this year will hopefully bring. At the beginning of this video, I did mention that I wanted to start off this year with a giveaway, and so in today's video, I'm going to be giving away a year's subscription to Skillshare. You guys will know that I am a huge advocate for Skillshare. I've been teaching over there for a few years, and with a Skillshare membership, you can access all of my courses up over on Skillshare, and I'll be releasing more throughout this year, throughout 2023. So if you guys are interested in getting your hands on a year-long Skillshare membership, then all you have to do is leave a comment and let me know what you are looking to learn in 2023. What kind of skills are you looking to pick up? I am going to be giving you guys a little bit of time to get your comments in, so I'm not going to be announcing the winners until the 1st of March 2023. But before I sign off from this video, I wanted to say a massive thank you to everyone who supported me in 2022 and to those of you who are continuing to do so this year. You know, running this channel has been such an amazing creative outlet for me to be able to focus on capturing photos that I want to capture and to focus on building my skill sets away from my commercial work. I have got a lot in store for this channel in 2023, and I really hope you guys enjoy it. I really hope you guys can find some sort of value or some sort of entertainment from the work and the videos that I'm going to be putting out. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.